Alright, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the fourth round here with Jeskai Geist. Looks like we lost the die roll, but we have a pretty good start, so I'm going to go ahead and keep. We have turn 1 Serum Visions, turn 2 Helix, potentially turn 3 Geist. Yeah, I think this is absolutely a solid keeper. Plains, Aether Vial. Death and taxes. I'm so sick of death and taxes. So let's go ahead and just fetch up here. Get these Serum Visions out of our hand in case we run into Thalia soon. Path to Exile might be nice in the face of Thalia, but I think right now we just want to hit our third land drop on time. Opponent does not hit any land drop. So the question is, do we keep up Helix here? Or do we just go ahead and go for the turn 3 Geist and Serum Visions? I think I can get a little greedy here, and that's famous last words, but Serum Visions. I think I actually don't want the Flooded Strand in case my opponent has an Arbiter, but I think I want the actual Shockland. Alright, the Vial's going to go up to 2 here. Probably going to see a Thalia from my opponent. Second Geist is definitely not what we want, but it's possible we just use it as like a Boros Charm. The mono white Death and Taxes matchup, or Eldrazi and Taxes matchup, is pretty rough. I would say most Eldrazi matchups are pretty rough. See, our opponent almost for sure going to take that Aether Vial up to 2 here. Yep. Still nothing. I'm going to use this opportunity to... Opponent's not casting anything. So again, let's just use this opportunity to play Geist of St. Traft. Obviously doesn't run that great. And Selfless Spirit, it's one of the less troublesome 3 mana cards that they 2 mana creatures they could have. It looks like they tick up Aether Vial to 3 here. Okay, and they're attacking with Selfless Spirit. Interesting. So yeah, the question: do I shock here? This keeps up double Helix and Cryptic Command, so I think so. I think no matter what I do, I definitely want to try to race this game here. Sure, yeah, this makes sense. Blade Splicer would be interesting here. Blade Splicer makes a lot of sense. My initial thought is to Helix the token. That would, you know, make my opponent crack the Selfless Spirit here. Or it doesn't. Interesting. Opponent takes a bit of damage here, but Cryptic can actually just bounce Aether Vial soon if we can. Oh wow. Okay, so they're sitting on Restoration Angel. That's good to know. Yeah, they definitely swing here. I wonder if we're just on the burnout plan at this point. Like if we go Helix our opponent's face, they go to 11. Kind of like that. And then I don't think we're dead on the crackback. And then the game gets tricky. Because then we also have Snap Helix. To draw a Lightning Bolt. Alright. We attack with Geist, our opponent goes down to 5, but they definitely flash in the Restoration Angel. So what I could do is just, in response, tap their team, bounce Aether Vial. They'll have 3, 6, 8, 9 power, and they won't be able to kill me. So I kind of like this line. They could have Path to Exile as well, which is not something I'm necessarily playing around right now in terms of my damage calculations. Okay, now I want to tap all creatures in my opponent's control, and then return target permanent to my opponent's hand. This means if I can start one-for-oneing what my opponent is doing here and just getting in for damage, they might be forced to Path to Exile right now to save some damage, but at the same time, they could just Path to Exile their own creature as well. Yeah, this game is tricky. Aether Vial makes them play a spell a turn, essentially. But I like this play because it means next turn they're really going to be on the defensive if they don't have a Path to Exile. Although I feel like the reason you keep a hand like this is because you maybe have also another piece of cheap interaction, but maybe they just keep one land or Aether Vial hands. I'm not quite sure. So again, we wanted to use Cryptic to tap their team before blocks. That way we, force in some amount of damage here. If they go Path to Exile here, they go to 9, we get a land, we top deck a land. No, it gets tricky. It gets tricky. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, having a Path to Exile. Okay, so far so good. Wonder if my opponent is going to respect our burnout plan. I imagine that's what my opponent is tanking on. I mean, it's a pretty important decision. The difference between 9 and 7 is actually quite relevant when I can make another angel next turn. So it's going to affect how they block, how they play their turn. So, yeah, this is like I think a Path to Exile here would be pretty nuts. A Path to Exile from me. If I draw Path to Exile, that would be pretty nuts. Because if they have Path to Exile and then I draw Path to Exile and then maybe they don't leave back a good blocker for the Angel, then I can go Path to Exile, snap Helix with the land that I just got from their Path to Exile. That was a mouthful, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pause the video until my opponent makes a decision here. So sit tight, guys, but I'll be back in just a few moments. Alright, our opponent is back. They decided to Path to Exile my Angel. Makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and just get an island here. Opponent goes down to 9. So they can swing back at us for a little bit here, but sure, that's an Aether Vial. I wonder what they swing with here. Wow, what? Oh, come on. Alright, I was hoping this would be a game, but it looks like it's not. The opponent's just not playing around Lightning Bolt, which seems really sketchy. Okay, well, we got a free game there. Let's just take it for what it is. In this matchup, Keranos, Staticaster, Elspeth. Click trades with my opponent's card. Tell the Wreckage trades with my opponent's board. In this matchup, I like to cut some number, or all of my Logic Knots. I really don't like Logic Knot here. I really don't like Jace here either. I like my big splashy cards to actually affect the board in this matchup. I do want Click as well, probably over the Geist. This seems good to me. Spell Snare again, I like to keep on the draw, or even on the play. But yeah, I think my opponent played a little bit too loose in that first game there. I think they're going to play hopefully a little bit better in this second game here. Because I think the correct play is absolutely not to do what they did, right? They put themselves in a position where they're exactly dead to a card that I essentially play, 8 of, and if you count Snapcaster Mages, I mean, it's just like, or 7 of with Helix and Bolts and stuff, and so, I don't know, I just think that line was a little bit loose for my opponent, and I would not have made this, like, they could have attacked with, like, Selfless Spirit and Blade Splicer, and sure, that's only 3 damage, but then next turn, yeah, I guess they are incentivized to attack with a Restoration Angels there, but they could have held back Selfless Spirit or something. I don't know. It just seems like they threw away that game for no reason. The hand's a bit slow, but it's got turn 2 interaction, plus some good things to play on turn 4. Raven Inspector, alright. This could just be straight up mono white. Death and Taxes. Like, there might not be Eldrazi's in this list, although all we saw was a Plains. I just don't think I usually see Thraben Inspector in the Eldrazi versions, just because, like, it's pretty awkward to play Eldrazi Temple into that, but Thalia. Thalia's really annoying. No attack with Raven Inspector. Good. I'll take it. I'm going to play this Mountain because I want to play around Arbiter, Leonin Arbiter, plus Ghost Quarter. So obviously drawing another Cryptic Command here feels really bad in the face of Thalia. We might just be forced to, if my opponent makes their land drop this turn, we might just be forced to main phase or upkeep on Thalia, because we don't want to get blown out by Restoration Angel. Either vial. Okay. No lands. Sure. Interesting. I guess we can take one more hit from... The question is, are they playing those like cards that you can sacrifice for 1 mana and then counter or target instant or sorcery? I don't think so. I think I'd rather just take a hit for 3 here and ensure that my opponent does not play another Thalia on their main phase. I think that's a worthwhile trade, considering we have all these 4-drops in our hand. It would be like a grave error not to do that. And because they don't have a vial on 2 just yet, so this works out. Relic of Genesis. Yeah, and this works out too. It makes them taxing their own cards here that they sideboarded in. Fortunately, it looks like Helix is going to get exiled by Relic of Progenitus. However, oh, they are playing those cards. Oh, Burnt and Forge Tender. Interesting. Yeah, that does it too, right? Sure. Still gain 3 life, which is nice. Burnt and Forge. So I did not play around Burnt and Forge Tender. That was not on my radar. So I like cracking the fetch here. It's weird because we have Jace and we might want to use that, but let's go ahead and Serum Visions here. Hopefully find Bolt. Bolt's on top, so that's nice. And again, we're still kind of protected from Ghost Quarter Arbiter here. Our opponent does tick up Aether Vial to 2, and the game is becoming a game, right? If we were able to clear that Thalia and then keep up Cryptic Command here, we might be okay, but now it looks like we actually have to grind our opponent out here. I have no problem with that, but it does make the game a little trickier for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and upkeep Bolt on Thalia. We want to do it before they get Flicker Wisp mana, and we want to keep up. Sure. It's weird though, because we could just flash in Spell Queller and block the Thalia, but at the same time, I think I just want to play it safe. Do they have another trick here? They could have another Thalia. Yeah. Yeah, that is something that they could have had. But it does mean at least they're not Aether Vialing this turn, which is, I think, good for me. Oh, what the Inspiring Vantage? Is this red-white Death and Taxes again? Oh my god. Maybe it did well in a recent event. Is my opponent gonna play a spell this turn? There's a chance they might. There's really a chance that they might play a spell and that eating this Theriban Inspector is not free. Thing is though, my hand is so clogged, and I want to get the Spell Queller on board to at least nullify the Thalias in play. Great, okay. We ate it. Now hopefully there's no Blade Splicer coming down. Done an Arbiter. Okay, I'm actually not too worried about that, considering we have the 5th land here. Sure, no, cannot. Land, interesting. So, we could just play Jace, downtick on the Arbiter, and we can block the Thalia pretty easily. Now that does mean Path to Exile gets us quite well here. So maybe I should just be keeping up Cryptic Command. Maybe Jace isn't safe yet. Yeah, I think I'll just keep up Cryptic Command here. Spell Queller on board protects basically everything we're doing here. There is an argument for bouncing the Aether Vial at my opponent's end step. Oh boy. Red-white Death and Taxes twice in one league. Yeah, that's gotta be it's quite an anomaly. That's like not a tier deck. So it's my guess is it got a recent pretty good showing at a recent comp league. Interesting. If my opponent wants a Tech Edge here, I could also just bounce the Thalia. I think I want to use up one of these Cryptics, mess up their Aether Vial. They can't replay it with Thalia. Yep. I mean, something comes out here. I guess a Flicker Wisp, maybe, is my guess. If they had Blade Splicer, I feel like it would have happened. Well, okay, they have Blade Splicer. Alright. They can't really attack into Spell Queller, which is really nice. And we're drawing more lands. Also nice. Mostly a joke. I don't really like all these lands. God dang, I hate Relic of Progenitus on Magic Online. Oh, I was supposed to shock the Cryptic Command in? Yeah, so that way I could counter the Aether Vial coming back down? I wonder how my opponent... Like, if they attack, maybe they think they can just get aggressive here? Thing is, like, Spell Queller just kind of keeps this board pretty tame, so... Like, land Flicker Wisp would be quite annoying here, but yeah, I imagine it's just Aether Vial. Snapcaster Mage. I think I want to get that going right now, just because of Relic in play. And I think I do want to hit Thalia now. Oh, sure. Yep. The question is, do we get in for damage for 2 damage with Spell Queller here? I think it's safe. I will happily trade Snapcaster Mage for an Arbiter here. So it's nice how their own Thalia kind of held them back for quite a bit. Might give us a chance here to crawl back into this game. Not to say that we're falling behind in any way, but I think we just go ahead and exile Serum Visions here. Interesting to see if they attack. Maybe just with Blade Splicer. No attacks at all. Cool. Wow, Electrolyze is a good draw. If my opponent is just content with like not attacking, then I think I'll go ahead and attack. Here I'd like to just keep up Cryptic Command and Electrolyze. So I am a little worried about Burnt and Forge Tender at this point, but now that Aether Vial has gone up to 2, I'm a little less worried about it. Let's go ahead and get this clunky Cryptic out of our graveyard. We're not really going to use that. It's weird. I think my opponent's just playing around like another Snapcaster Mage with their Relic, but it feels like a mistake to me. So I want to get Blade Splicer off the board before they get Flicker Wisp, or Vial to Flicker Wisp mana. Or counters. Alright, they could have Selfless Spirit here, which, yeah, would be annoying. Thalia? Sure. Huh. My inclination is to just get Jace on the board right now. And hold back some creatures. They could have lightning bolts, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and... Wow, that's pretty good. And I want to bolt before my opponent gets Vile Mana going. And here, I'm not too worried about my buddy Jace here. I think he's doing just fine now. It looks like now they have their 3rd land and Vial on 3. Awkward thing to happen at the same time, unless they have multiple 3-drops. Sure, Selfless Spirit is in. So here, we know that there is a Scalding Tarn on top of our library, so we could go ahead and activate Field of Ruin. This may incentivize them to crack their Relic as well. Yeah, looks like Relic has been cracked. Oh my god, there's an Arbiter in play. God, what am I doing today? Yep, that was a bit silly of me. Don't really want the Serum Visions right now. Alright, but I guess Stone Raining them is kind of fun, I guess. Drawing a bunch with Jace, also kind of fun. No blocks. Alright. Wonder if they play Flicker Wisp here on their Vial. It's probably going to be another Blade Splicer though, right? It's got to be Blade Splicer. Yeah. We could just Path to Exile the Golem here. I kind of want to get really aggressive. If I balance the Aether Vial, draw a card, then I have Snapcaster Mage to... They want to go all out attack Jace. I have Snapcaster Mage to block and then Path to Exile something. I think that's a little too aggressive. I do got to figure out the best line here, though, because this is a position where, yeah, I could lose the game from here, and I just have to make sure that I don't, screw things up royally. Certainly, they might be thinking they can just overwhelm Jace right now, so I think I'm just going to let them untap. And then I have Spell Queller and Path to Exile available. What was nice about having Path to Exile like now, before they untap, is so they can't pay Arbiter. But they might be so like focused on killing Jace that I could get a really good attack in here, or a really good block going here. Sweet. Okay. Might be able to... Wow, okay. Wow, see, this is what I was hoping for. Spell Queller comes in. This represents Restoration Angel, so I'm going to go ahead and make some blocks here. So, pathing the Golem makes it so that they have to pay 2 if they want to land. Sure, I guess this wasn't actually a great block, but it did stop Jace from dying, obviously. So, not best case scenario here, but looks like they didn't fetch a land, which is nice. And Jace goes down to 2, which is pretty good for us. Oh, it looks like they just have a 3rd land anyways, and they shock it in. I think is quite relevant. They could just Flicker Wisp. Ooh, Morph. They have like a Chroma? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, they have a Chroma! Oh, that's pretty cool. Interesting. Doesn't it have haste? No. Protection from white and blue. Oh, geez. Let's just go ahead and brainstorm first. Staticaster's not bad, but Snapcaster Mage is actually quite good. So here, our plan is going to be to tap our opponent's team, draw a card, get in for some damage here. So we go ahead and tap all creatures my opponent's control. Alright, so we draw our Snapcaster Mage, which is good. So our opponent just taps, or passes. I think I want to brainstorm here. Yeah, I don't think Staticaster is quite what we want, but neither is Geist. I think our plan at this point is to attack. Well, actually, if we can... This is tricky. I think we definitely want to attack here. Opponent doesn't have any blocks. I think the safest play, I mean, technically we have the kill here. We have Helix, Snap, Helix. But in the case our opponent also plays Lightning Helix or something weird like that, I think I'd rather go Snap, Cryptic again. We always have the Helix line available for next turn. Opponent passes the turn. So we're going to do our best here and try to get our opponent dead. Sure. If they have Restoration Angel here, that is quite good. Ooh, Pia and Kira Nalar. Wow. Generates 2 Thopters and they can ping 1. Okay. Before blocks. Staticaster, ping the Thopters. I guess they can sacrifice it in response, but then they're dead. So, Apostle's Blessing, target artifact, or creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until. Yeah, sure. That is weird, but we still have the kill here. Unless my opponent has been sitting on Path to Exile for this long, I imagine they'll go block, 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 and then we can bounce Arbor with Jace, fetch, and go Helix, Snap, Helix. I don't think there's anything they have that wins from that spot. Okay. Right, I'm not misreading any text from Achroma. We have 1 mana, so even Path to Exile doesn't beat me here. Looks like they might just be going down to 3. And Helix them. Okay. Wow, so that game was a little close, kind of a nail biter towards the end there, but I guess what we learned that is we have a decent matchup against Red, White, Death, and Taxes, which is for some reason really popular today. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. That was round 4 with Jacekai Geist. We're 2-2 in this modern competitive league, crawling our way back, and hopefully we get that 3-2, get our money back, and yeah, stay tuned for that coming up real soon.